deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring.
Yeah, welcome to the show. This is Smoke the Competition. I'm your host, Eric Sojash. Thank you for checking us out. Please subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. You can follow us on Twitter at Sojash Sports. In today's episode, we're diving straight into the Week 10 weekend of the NFL football. We're breaking down your point spread picks for all of the weekend games. We're going to talk about your best bets. I got 4 games I want to break down for you. We're also going to dive into some of the fantasy football lineups, see who you should start and who you should sit. We're also going to talk about the current MVP race. We're almost halfway through the season. We don't really have a clear-cut favorite right now. Every week it's kind of fluctuated. Is it Joe Burrow this week? Is it someone else? Let me know in the comments. Either way, sit back, relax. It's week 10 of the NFL. Enjoy the show. Let's go. First matchup we're going to break down on week 10 kicks off in Germany. Got another overseas game. This one is between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. This used to be a hell of a rivalry when I was growing up, ladies and gentlemen. We had Tom Brady on one side taking on Peyton Manning, arguably the 2 greatest quarterbacks of all time. This time around, not quite that show. This time we got Mac the Gritty Jones taking on Gardner Minshew. Not quite the highlight that I'm sure the people in Germany were looking forward to. Still, it's NFL football. We got some great players on the field, some fantastic running backs, so this is going to be a heck of a game. I like Ramondre Stevenson in this game. I also like Jonathan Taylor. That running game has gotten going in Indianapolis, and they're going to keep that rolling. At the end of the day, I'm going with the Patriots in this game, plus 2.5. I think Bill Belichick is going to have his defense clicking. They're going to give Minshew some problems, force him into a couple turnovers, and find a way to win this game. Next game I want to break down is between the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a heck of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 superstar quarterbacks going at it. That's right, I said 2 superstar quarterbacks. We got Joe Burrow. We know what he's done. Every time he's healthy, he's an absolute stud on the field. And then we got the ascending rookie in Houston, CJ Stroud. Man, they hit a home run with this pick. This guy is phenomenal. I think this is going to be the best quarterback play we're going to see all weekend between 2 teams. With all that said, I'm going with Houston. They come in red hot on offense. I'm going to lay my 6.5 points on the road underdogs to keep this game close. I do think the Bengals will get the win, but with Jamar Chase banged up, T. Higgins is going to miss this game. I'm going to ride with the Road Warriors, take the Texans at plus 6.5. Next game we're going to break down is between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. This game is set to take off in the dome between 2 dome teams, so I don't really see an advantage there in terms of home field. We're going to have 2 explosive teams that have a lot of fast players, but the problem here is Minnesota's coming off a very emotional win. 2 days notice they had Josh Dobbs enter the quarterback room and take over for them. He's set to be the starter moving forward. Don't think he's going to have the same performance against this New Orleans Saints defense. This is a stout defense, ladies and gentlemen, mixed with a pretty consistent offense. Derek Carr has been throwing the ball relatively well over the last 5 weeks. Alvin Kamara has been consistent running and receiving, and then you sprinkle in some Taysom Hill. I'm riding with the Saints on this one, laying my 2.5 points on them. I might be the lone wolf. Looks like a lot of the experts are going with Minnesota, but I feel pretty good about this. Take the Saints, minus 2.5, and let's go. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Steel Town to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a matchup with 2 quarterbacks that have been struggling so far in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not a fan of either quarterback play. This could be a very hard game to watch, very hard on the eyes. We got Kenny Pickett leading the hometown Steelers, taking on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. I don't see a lot of points being scored in this game, and for that reason, I'm going to ride with the better defense. Steel Town finds ways to win. They're at home. Give me the Steelers, minus 3. That's the easy bet for me. I can't mess around with those Green Bay Packers until they get some more consistency on offense. Moving along, we're going to have a nice interconference battle. We got the Tennessee Titans from the AFC South taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the NFC South. This is a matchup you don't get to see too often, so I'm going to be looking forward to this one. We got the veteran Baker Mayfield and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers steadily ascending, still in a battle for that division title, taking on Will Levis and those Tennessee Titans. This is the rookie's third start. He's looked really good so far. I think he'll continue to trend in the right direction here. However, the Bucs, I think overall are a better team. They can really stifle the run, make things really hard on Derrick Henry, and have to rely fully on Will Levis. I don't think he's quite there yet to compete with this Buccaneers defense, who's coming off let down against Houston Texans. I think they will bounce back. Give me the Bucs. Give me Baker Mayfield -1 at home. Moving along, we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is one of my favorite games of the weekend. Two fantastic teams, both set to make the playoffs. One team is struggling, coming off 3 consecutive losses that nobody would have seen coming. I don't think that's the real 49ers. I believe Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, and the entire Niners team is going to bounce back from those losses. Now they're coming up, taking on a heck of an opponent. Doug Peterson has this Jacksonville Jaguars team clicking on all cylinders. The defense is playing above expectation. The offense is well balanced. With that said, I'm going with the 49ers here. I just can't see them losing a 4th game in a row. They definitely need this game a lot more than Jacksonville, and I think they'll show it. I'll take them, lay my 3 points on the road team. Let's go 49ers. Next up, we got a good old-fashioned rivalry, AFC North showdown between the Cleveland Browns and those Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a slugfest defensive battle. We all know what Myles Garrett's been doing and those Cleveland Browns, but what we haven't been paying attention to a lot is what these Ravens are doing on defense. Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, Kyle Hamilton, these guys are playing phenomenal football. Lamar Jackson and that offense doesn't even have to be consistent, which they haven't been. They haven't even sniffed their ceiling yet. If they do find that offensive consistency, this is going to be one of the best teams, if not the best team in football this year. I'm laying my 6 points on the Ravens. I just don't think the Browns have enough offense. Deshaun Watson is not the same guy we saw before he had all those legal issues. I'm going with the Ravens to get the win and cover the 6 points. Moving over to those afternoon games, we're going to have a look at the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals. One caveat in this game is Kyler Murray is set to take stage, make his season debut. That's going to be one thing hard to predict. I'm not too sure what type of Kyler Murray we're going to see when he's full health, full tilt doing his thing. He's a heck of a player in this league, top 10 quarterback. Not sure if you're going to get that right out the gates. And for that reason, I'm laying my 1.5 points on the Atlanta Falcons. I ain't too big on that Taylor Heineke, but I do think he has got the offense clicking a little bit better than what Desmond Ridder did. And if they can finally rely on Bijan Robinson like all us fantasy managers would like them to do, I think they'll find a way to win this game. Let's go Atlanta, -1.5. Find a way to get that road victory. Another afternoon game I can't wait to break down that's going to have 2 high-powered offenses and 2 great quarterbacks set to take stage is between the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers. This is a fantastic game that we're going to be watching, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday afternoon. I love both of these teams from a fantasy standpoint and from a fan standpoint. We got great fantasy players. We got great skill players in all positions. So with that said, who's going to win this game? I got to go with Detroit. They're more consistent this year. I trust Dan Campbell as a better head coach. If things get tight, I think they're going to be a little bit more acclimated to, making the right decisions, pulling off the victory here. So let's lay my 2.5 points on those Detroit Lions behind their run game that's set to get Monty back, pair him with Jahmyr Gibbs, and it's going to be a problem for those LA Chargers. As long as Jared Goff is able to take care of the ball, there's not any crazy weather in LA, I don't see any falters here. Detroit should find a way to get this win by at least a field goal. Next game we're looking at is an NFC East rivalry between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. If you're outside of those two markets, you're probably not going to be watching this game this weekend. New York doesn't have their starting quarterback or their backup quarterback. They're going to be starting Mr. DeVito. Not too much of a resume on that guy and very low expectations. Dallas is coming in as 17-point favorites. It's just a ridiculous line, ladies and gentlemen. Because the line is so big and these are NFL teams, I'll put the +17 on the Giants and Saquon Barkley to come up with some kind of game plan to move the ball effectively enough to at least kick some field goals here. Dallas will score points, but the Giants defense is respectable. They should come in with a slow down game plan to keep the game relatively close. Dallas will get the victory, obviously, but I got to go with the +17. Giants, keep the game close. Last game in that Sunday afternoon is between the Washington Commanders and the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a fantastic game again, ladies and gentlemen. We got two good teams here, both still battling for playoff positions. Washington's been a feisty team all year. They've been able to play the good teams well. They keep it close with the bad teams. They're just one of those guys that play up and down to their competition. Sam Howell's getting better week in and week out. As long as he's getting protected, he's able to find his weapons at a consistent rate. On the flip side, Geno Smith has been a letdown this year, hasn't picked up from his great 2022 season. For those reasons, I'm not liking Seattle here. Even though that travel from east to west is going to be in the back of my mind, I'll take the Commanders at +6 here, keep the game close, and maybe even steal a victory. I think what they're doing over there, it's steadily improving. Keep your eye on what they're doing in Washington. And with Sam Howell pulling the trigger, the sky's the limit. Next up, we're going to break down the Sunday night football game when the New York Jets travel to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not too sure why this is still a primetime game, considering we have Zach Wilson taking on Aiden O'Connell. Not really the biggest markets in the NFL world right now, but NFL's not quite at the weeks where we're flexing games, so this is our Sunday night matchup. I'm going to go with the Jets here at +1. They got the best running back in the game in Breece Hall. I believe he's second to Christian McCaffrey right now in terms of talent. Get him the ball, lean heavily on him, Robert Saleh, and there's no way this Raiders team should be able to keep up with you. The Jets D, we've saw them on primetime a few times. They are legit. They're going to give the Raiders all they can handle and more. All the Jets have to do is just give the ball to number 20, sit back, and enjoy the show. Last but not least, we're jumping into that Monday night football game between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo comes into this game as hometown favorites, -7. I'm laying my 7 points on Buffalo, Stephon Diggs, and Josh Allen to cover this and get the win. I know Denver's been playing a lot better of late. Coming off a bye, you never know what can happen. Sean Payton traditionally is a good coach coming off a bye. However, I'm still riding with these Buffalo Bills. I just think they're a superior team overall. They've been riding a wave all season, up and down. This is going to be one of their up trajectories again. This offense will find their way to get clicking against the Denver defense that struggled all season. So lay your 7 points on the Bills, end the week out with some good old-fashioned Buffalo wings and a good old-fashioned Buffalo win. All right, let's check out my best bets this week. I'm going to break down 4 games that I really like. Hopefully we hit on these and we can win some money. Quick recap of my Week 10 best bets. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home over the Tennessee Titans at -1. I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens at home over the Cleveland Browns at -6. I'm also taking the Pittsburgh Steelers at home again over the Green Bay Packers at -3. And last but not least, we're riding with the hometown Buffalo Bills at -7 over the Denver Broncos. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. Give us a follow. Once again, subscribe to the channel. I'm Eric Sojash. Peace, love. Let's continue to smoke the competition.
Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Weezy. The card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, explode.